What was the largest amount you ever took in one day? 400.
And I have an upcoming trip. I know it sounds stupid, but I have an upcoming trip next month, and I'm short on money on that. Yeah.
Yes. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand? Yes.
On November 25th, 2024, officers were called to Macy's after an employee was caught stealing over $2,000 from her register across multiple dates. How did she get away with it for so long? Watch the video to see how the situation unfolded and what led to her arrest. Everything will leave you in shock.
We have her stealing cash throughout the course of the months that she was here.
Multiple occasions or two?
So it was a total of 2,100 and something. So she's in the office.
Are you the supervisor? Or
She is the loss prevention.
okay.
So everything crime related, that's one of them over here.
Okay. All right.
They will make every decision you need them to make.
Good evening.
I'm Officer Goncalves with Orlando Police.
I'm Officer Wallace.
That's my partner, Officer Wallace. What is your name?
Mariana,
Hanau. You have your ID with you?
it's in the car.
It's in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why we're here?
I do.
Yeah. All right. So you're not under arrest or anything, but under Florida law, every time I go talk to somebody, I have to read their Miranda rights, right? I'm sure you've seen in TV shows and stuff. So like I said, you're not under arrest. You're good. Take your time. Is that your water? If you want to take a sip of water or anything, you can take this sip of water. I'll read your constitutional rights, your Miranda rights. If you have any questions at any minute, just stop me and I'll explain it to you, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand? Is that a yes? Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand? Yes. Can you just verbate it just for the recording? If it's a yes or no? You did.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning. Do you understand? Yes? If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one will be provided for you before questioning without charge. Do you understand? You want to take a sip of water? You're good? Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me? No? Okay. All right. How old are you?
21.
21?
24.
24? Okay. Any kids or anything? No? Who do you live with? Your parents? You're from Orlando or? Okay. So we got called here for allegations of some missing money, right? I'm assuming Macy's already talked to you about it. So I'm here to get your side of the story of what happened, right? I'm usually pretty forward and I'm honest to the person. That's why I tell you, like, there's no secret to why I'm here, okay? How long you been working for Macy's?
It would be 4 months.
4 months?
A young woman named Mariana is being questioned by the police at Macy's for missing money. The officers are very polite and explain her rights like on TV. She's calm and answering their questions, though they're trying to figure out what happened. She's been working there for 4 months and is now caught up in a mystery. Always be careful at work, especially if you're holding the cash register key.
And what is your job here at Macy's?
Sales associate in sunglasses.
Sunglasses. So you sell sunglasses? Okay. And part of your duties as associate at Sunglass Hut, do you do cash transactions when you sell sunglasses? Okay. So the allegations that Macy's is doing is that it's been some discrepancy on your cash register, right? Are you aware of that? Can you tell me what happened?
To keep it short, I took a few times money from the register.
You took money from the register. Do you have any idea how many times?
A few times.
A few times. We're talking 3, we're talking 10, we're talking 50.
Oh, it was less than 10.
Less than 10. And do you know how much money you took? 2,100?
Yeah, that's what they said, yeah.
Well, that's what they're saying. How much do you think you took?
I estimated under 1,000.
Under 1,000?
Mhm.
Okay. Like, on the times that you took, what was the largest amount you ever took in one day?
400.
400. And then what was the least amount you took in one day?
I think it was like $60.
60 bucks. How you were doing?
How?
Yeah.
Like
Like you were waiting till the end of the day, or when the customer hands you the money, you didn't put inside the register, or how do you do?
no, it was whenever I closed or opened the register.
When you're closed or open the register, and then you will take the money out?
So if it was in closing, I would take it from the deposit.
What do you mean by the deposit? Like the money that you would have sent it to another employee to make the bank deposit?
Yes, or like here at Macy's, we would go upstairs and we would like throw it into like this mail thingy,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess they send it out to somebody or something. Like we'll put it in a bag, in a deposit bag.
Okay. And then when you put on deposit bag, do you seal that bag?
Yeah.
Okay. So because this is where I'm asking some of those questions, okay? And I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your telling me that you took some of the money. But I hate saying like, hey, you know, it's $2,100, right? As Macy's saying $2,100, but you're saying, hey, I estimate less than 1,000. So I want to make sure there's no other person involved on this.
Oh no.
That could be, even without your knowledge, taking that money later.
Without my knowledge, I wouldn't know.
Right, that's why I'm saying, like, I want to make sure, like, your bags were always sealed, right? Like,
Mariana admits to taking money from the register, but she's trying to downplay it, saying it was less than $1,000, even though Macy's says it's $2,100. She casually explains how she took the money when opening or closing the register, even mentioning that she's unsure if others could have taken money too. She feels like the whole situation is a game. She laughs and downplays the seriousness, making it seem like there's no real punishment.
when you did your deposit, because I never worked for Macy's, right? But all my young ages. So I worked for other stores, and I actually worked for a bank at one point. And I'm assuming it's kind of pretty similar to what you have here. So like when I work on a bank, at the end of the day, they call you batch, right? Which you count your money, and then you put all that information, and your computer system is supposed to match. Okay, he's supposed to have $3,000 cash. When you count your money, it puts in there, yes, they match $3,000 cash. And then we take all that money out. We actually had it to put in order. If it was like $2,000, we were supposed to, all hundreds were supposed to wrap it in $2,000. And then we put on the seal envelope that I seal, and I also had to initial the envelope. And then I go to the drawer, which is like the chute we call, where you put your money and then you close.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The little mail thing upstairs. I call it a mail thing, but it's like a little shoe.
Yeah. So after, when you close your money, like you count your money, how much average money you had a day?
That varied a lot, because there were some days where there was no deposit. Some days where...
Like all your sales were like credit cards and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
And then, but what is the, like, I'll say, what is the largest amount you ever had on your drawer?
Like in total?
Yeah. Like on your sales, right? Did you have a minimum amount that you start?
Yeah, 300.
You start with 300.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever you sell cash, then it's...
That's the deposit.
The amount plus the 300?
Well, I don't know if it's plus the 300.
Well, but you send that 300 back, or you keep that 300 on your drawer?
No, so the drawer itself always
Has 300.
has to have $300. So then if there's more than $300, when there's cash payments throughout the day, then that's the deposit that we would, put in the chute.
Mm-hmm.
So then every day will be $300 a register, morning, night,
So if you had no sales, you had $300.
Correct.
Right? Now, if you sold $1,500 in cash, then you would have a total of 18, which is the 300 plus the 1,500.
I believe that's how it works.
Yeah. All right. Why are you doing this?
Like I told them, it's for school, not out of the parent pocket.
You paying for college?
Yeah, so I did get a scholarship, but there's parts where I have to pay back. And I have an upcoming trip. I know it sounds stupid, but I have an upcoming trip next month, and I'm short on money on that.
Where are you going?
Cancun,
For how long?
a week,
A week? Going with friends, family?
with my boyfriend.
Where are you going to school at?
What
Classes?
It's medical assistant with EKG.
Oh, very good.
She said some days she had no cash, only card payments, and she always sealed the money bag. But let's be real, this sounds like an evil plan. Taking money for a vacation, it's not the smartest move. Don't take money that's not yours. Save a little every day, your future trips will be way better.
How far are you in?
I just started.
How long is the program?
It's an accelerated course, so it's like 4 months.
Oh, those are hard.
Yeah. And it's 2 days a week. But I'm using that as a stepping stone to like do nursing later
Yes,
on.
It's probably one of the best industries. I wish I had a thought and went to the medical field instead.
It's hard.
It is hard, and I don't know if I can do it. So, but it's a beautiful profession, I'll tell you that. You know, I think it's extremely rewarding. So I see every day, like we go to hospitals every day, we see people every day. So I have my kids in the hospital at times, and I'll tell you, like, it's extremely rewarding. It's a beautiful profession. I hope you can continue, especially if that's your dream. I hope you can continue and succeed, because it's amazing. How much are you paying for school? Like, how much money you're short?
Sorry.
No, you're good. Mm-hmm.
I'm like 6,000 short.
6,000? How much is the program?
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, take your time.
I'm sorry.
You're good. I totally understand, believe me.
It's over. It's over 10K.
So you got like tuition for like 40% of it. Alright, still quite a lot of money. I paid myself through the police academy, and the police academy cost me 5K. You know, and to me that was a lot. You know, the only difference that the police academy is full time, so it's extremely hard for you to work. So I had to work most weekends and stuff, and I 100% understand, you know, what you're having to go through. Do you had any plans to stop? What was your goal, like, besides the trip? And like, it was like once you paid off your college, that was when you were kind of like gonna stop, or
No, I was gonna stop after the last
the one from yesterday? How much was the one from yesterday?
100.
$100. Do you regret? At any point you thought, as you were doing, like, I can get caught and I can go to jail? You thought about it?
She said she was $6,000 short for her course and needed help. The course is only 4 months long, but now her career might be even shorter. She cried during the talk, but the officer sounded more like a school counselor than a cop. This wasn't a crime. It felt like therapy with a badge.
Is there anything that I forgot to ask that you want to add, that you think is important? Anything on your side or anything that I missed? No. Would you like to write an apology letter to Macy's?
Can I say verbally or have to write it?
Prefer in writing, just because it's easier, because I'll have to turn all this information to a judge, and it's easier for the judge to see in writing than have to watch my entire body cam. You have zero obligations in doing it, okay? If you don't want to do it, that's fine. This is 0% obligation. I only ask. I normally give the opportunity to everybody. Once I see that they have some remorse, that have some regret of doing, just for for court purpose. But if you don't want to do one now, you can always do one later. You can actually, if we get the chance to go in front of the judge, you can tell and talk to the judge over there. That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll wait.
That's okay. All right.
So what's like the whole, like,
The process right now. Okay, I'm gonna go get her side of the story again. I want to see like everything that she has, her statement, the evidence, and everything, and then we're gonna go from there. Most likely, and you're probably gonna be going to jail today. Okay, you will have a bond. You'll be able to make phone calls and everything from the jail to get your family to help you out, to bond you out. You're also allowed to bond yourself out if you have any cash or card. But based on the little that I already saw it, and if it continues that they are willing to prosecute, my hands are tied on that. I have no choice but to take you to jail today.
so which choice? Who has to say to that?
Macy's. They are the victims of the crime. So I'm just the mitigator here, and as Florida law works, every time there is a crime, the decision comes from the victim, with few exceptions, right? And those few exceptions, I mean domestic violence, homicide, and stuff like that. Homicides because the victim can't speak, right? So on this case, which is a theft, you're being charged with theft, and then the victim is Macy's. So I know they were making a couple phone calls to their superiors and stuff to trying to.
She said she'd wait, but guess what? Macy still wants to press charges. So now her dream of becoming a nurse starts with a trip to jail. The officer said she could make phone calls from jail. How kind? Stealing from Macy's to pay for school. That's not a scholarship. That's a shoplifting ship.
Get the final decision. If the decision is made to prosecute you, then I will be taking you to Orange County Jail for processing. Okay? The way it works is you will go there. I will do my paperwork. Once I complete my paperwork, you get processed to Orange County Jail. Have you ever been arrested? I assume no, right? Okay. So you get processed. Okay. This process can take. Today's Monday, so I don't expect them to be too busy. So I'll say probably 4 hours, 3 hours, right? Fair to say. About 3 or 4 hours if you need to bond yourself out. You're going to have a bond. I don't know how much your bond is going to be yet. It can be, it's probably going to be somewhere around $2,500. Now, if you go with the bonds person, you pay 10% of that money, okay? Which would be, let's say, if it's $2,500, 10% is $250. You pay that $250, you get out, but you will have a court date, and then your court date will probably be anywhere 3 to 6 months. You get assigned a defense attorney, which they will represent you for free, unless you want to hire your own private attorney. If you want to hire your own private attorney, you just tell the state defense attorney that you don't need him, that you have your own attorney. If you want to talk to the defense attorney first, the public defender's office, you talk to them, get everything with them, and then if you okay with him and want to use him, there's a minimum cost for you. Okay, until until we go to court, either solve the case one way or other. All right. You have any questions for me?
So I mean, so if when I go to court. Like, what's the solution? Like, what happened after that? Because I already admitted to pay back.
Okay, so you can mention that to your attorney, okay, that you agree to pay back Macy's full reimbursement and all that, and he can work with Macy's on that, okay? Again, I'm telling you some of this stuff. I'm not the best person because I'm not an attorney, right? I'm just speaking on my experience itself. So your attorney will give you more details to what's the solution or the outcome of your case, in a later time. But make it simple, especially without being an attorney. Every case we have a couple solutions. One is the state attorney dismissing the case, okay, which means the state attorney reviews everything and says we don't have enough evidence to prosecute her, and they dismiss the case. Okay, the second solution is you coming with the agreement.
The officer explained the jail process like a bored tour guide. She would go to jail, sit for 4 hours, maybe pay $250 to get out and wait months for court. She might even get a free lawyer unless she wants to hire her own. Her best hope is that Macy will say, forget it, and drop the case.
Between you and the victim, but with that, both attorneys have to be involved. The state attorney's office and defense attorney's office, you and Macy's, the four of you will have to come in some form of agreement, right? Which possibly be like, hey, Macy's wants you to reimburse them $2,100. Don't ever apply for a job at Macy's again. Boom, that's one solution. I'm just saying as example. I'm not saying that it will happen, okay? And the third one is Macy's doesn't agree on this solution of getting paid. They want more. They want you to pay for, and then, there is more repercussion when it comes to Florida state law. And then they can say, hey, lying on Google or something. Because I know you would do it. Because everybody does it. Okay? So just bear with me. Let me finish with them. My partner's going to stay here. And I'll be right back, okay? I'm glad you make the phone call and I'll help you. Any questions for us? They don't tow it or anything, so, and they won't keep the eye off, but it's better since your property's inside, it's better if your parents come pick up later on.
Alright, just take a look.
Can I get my bag though?
No, we can't go in there right now.
There's nothing inside the vehicle, correct? So any contraband or anything that appears after you come out, you will be charged with it, okay? Just letting you know. Not to say there is. They don't feel good.
They're too tight.
I put a finger in it.
Can you put it a little bit?
I put a finger through it. It's required two fingers. Probably because of where you're sitting. If you're moving your hands.
It's gonna be a short ride, it's less than 5 minutes.
She didn't say she was hungry. She didn't say she needed money for bills. She said she wanted to go to Cancun. That's wild, but stealing money is not the way. Stores check their cash and people count their money. Taking that much and thinking no one will notice is silly. If she were in your friend group, you'd need to lock your stuff. Mariana was charged with theft after stealing over $2,000 from Macy's cash register over several days. In the end, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's see who stands out the most. The best comment gets pinned. And hey, don't forget to share this video with your friends and family so they don't miss out on the fun. And now, here's a challenge for you. On your screen, you're seeing the 4 best playlists. Click on any one and I promise you won't regret it. You'll definitely enjoy this one. See you next time. Till then, keep watching.